Well, as much as we're ready for this to be over, I know, Eric, you made our newcomer publication official endorsement, which not a lot of publications are doing these days, it seems.
Yeah. I was sort of half joking. I mean, it was sincere, but I said, "Oh, the official statement from newcomer. The editorial board endorses Kamala Harris, unequivocally or enthusiastically." I think I said. Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy. Yeah, I have a couple takes. So the context is the Washington Post and the Los Angeles Times editorial boards did not endorse anybody for president, seemingly very clearly in the case of the LA Times because of the owner, and then
also in the case of the Washington Post, it's been since reported, right, that there was an endorsement written that then ultimately did not get published. So
right. So it's either the CEO or Bezos himself, who's stopping this. I on the one hand, I run a publication that has sort of like a unified voice where it's like, okay, we'll have opinions, we'll do reporting. It's not surprising, but you sort of know, even as we have more writers like yourself, it's sort of like, where the point of view is sort of like emanating from. I do think with these newspapers, it's sort of weird in the modern day to have like these editorial boards when you're trying to say we're mostly objective journalists. I do think like sort of a single, like a voice from an opinion page or something, or having an ideologically coherent publication makes more sense. That said, you not deciding you're going to change your policy like right before a key election where one candidate is like attacking journalism and is sort of like a strongman leader and a lot seems to be at stake is sort of the worst time to reverse your policies. And especially,
right. I feel like timing is such a big part of this conversation too. Right. Like it's not in a vacuum. If they had made, pre the election, come out in January 2024 and said, we're not going to endorse this year, right, I feel like it'd be a non-issue.
I'd be happy, but yeah.
I agree. I mean, is it the place for these publications like this to have, endorsements? It feels kind of outdated, like you said. But the fact that it's happening now kind of reads a little bit differently.
And I know some people are going to think this is overblown, but I mean, the path to fascism is, first of all, for people to sort of preemptively do things that sort of strongman leaders would like. And it's, if you have people like Jeff Bezos making the calculus that, man, we're going to have a really hard time in a Trump administration if we do this thing, which is endorse Kamala, which is not going to move any votes. Well, why do it? Like that sort of thinking is just sort of, capitulation to somebody sort of treading over all sorts of norms and is pretty worrying.